If you couldn't sympathize with Gentle before this chapter, I think after this chapter, you're going to be able to understand kind of what was going on through Gentle's mind when he started this whole operation to invade UA, and why he goes so far to get popularity and get noticed. It's such a real theme that this chapter really wanted to showcase, and I mean, Horikoshi's already went into some deep themes with, the last chapter with Brava, and how Brava, she was at a point in her life to where she just wanted to obviously end it. And thanks to Gentle, she was able to find her path and, be able to open up and seek happiness and not be lonely anymore. And we could see the effect that Gentle had on her. But now we get to see Gentle's side of the story and kind of what Brava did for him and how Brava was the best thing that could have ever have happened to him in his entire life. So to get right into that, when it comes to law and justice, there's a fine line. There's always been this line. And I mean, if you are someone that, watches, certain comic book series, like, movies like Marvel or DC, or if you read comics, or if you just, you love crime, law, and justice and stuff like that, then most likely you're gonna know sometimes the law doesn't always give justice. And this is a theme I actually really like when it comes to superhero series. It's one of the big reasons why I like The Punisher so much, and why I was a big fan when it came to Netflix, was because I like seeing how sometimes the line really blurs. And even in Daredevil was a good example of this as well, that sometimes if you try to follow the law, you're not going to get what you want. For instance, sometimes those people are going to keep coming out of, jail. They're going to keep doing the exact same thing. They're not getting the proper punishment they deserve. And that's kind of, how the law works sometimes. And you have other characters or people in this type of situation, like the Punisher, that takes it upon themselves to seek justice and go around the law, or vigilantes in the first place to go around the law. And that's kind of the theme of this chapter, showing that the line between law and justice is very blurred right now when it comes to Gentle and Izuku, when they're both going at each other. Izuku represents the law, while Gentle, he represents justice, or in this case, selfish desire, but at the same time, it's for the good of the people. And I can really say that I respect both sides, and at the end of the day, the way this chapter painted Gentle, it does seem like he is slightly in the wrong, but at the same time, though, I cannot put the man down for the conclusion he came to with this chapter, or his life story. So to get right into that, Gentle, we get to see how he was in his high school life, and for the most part, we see a younger version of himself. He seems very spunky. He wants to be a hero, which is a complete shock, actually, because I figured he might have been a villain or something in the past because of how he had that entire part of his character to where he didn't want to harm anyone. Maybe he harmed someone like as a villain and he realized he was a horrible person and he decided to have a change of ways or something. That's what I assumed, but that was definitely not the case. We do get the reasoning to why he doesn't like to use a lot of his strength or to hurt people is because of what happened in his past, but that doesn't change the fact that his just origin story really caught me by surprise. It starts off with a flashback with him saying, I want to be a hero. That's not going to change. And we see the principal of his school, of his high school, telling him that he needs to give up. It doesn't matter what type of dream he has. It doesn't matter what he wants. He needs to give up, and he needs to accept reality that he has failed the exam 4 times. He's in a very low-grade school, and, there's just not really much more for him to do here. He's not getting anywhere with this life he's living right now. And you have a person that has this inspiration to wanting to be a hero, wanting to help people, that is being told to just give up your dreams. And this is a very real aspect to this chapter. It's kind of like basically saying you're a child or something. Even as an adult can have dreams too. Even I have dreams. My dream was to be a YouTuber, and I feel like I'm living a dream every day. And the thing is that Gentle, he's someone that wanted to be a hero. That was his desire. And Izuku, it's very similar to Izuku. Izuku's desire was to be a hero as well. That's how the series started off. And I'm not going to get into that rabbit hole yet. I'll talk about that in a moment. But Gentle, he was being told by people around him, his principal, and you can even see his family with his mother crying behind him, that they were basically saying it's just time to give up. It's time to go to other pastures. It's time to give up on being a hero and try to do something else that you know you can do. And you gotta imagine, as a person, this is gonna be very hard to hear. And Gentle takes it in stride. When he has this told to him, you can see that he doesn't really let it get him down. He still seems relatively spunky, and I mean, even though his mother's upset, which makes sense because, you know, her son is not being able to graduate, he's being held back, and, you know, he's being told to give up, I can understand why the mother is crying. It makes perfect sense. But Gentle, he basically states, like, this is not going to change anything, you know, I'm not going to give up and all of that. And it's basically him accepting the fact that he's not going to let others get him down, let others tell him what he can or cannot do. He is walking around and he decides to, you know, help out someone. Someone is in danger, they're falling down and all that from a building, and we don't really get the context of what was really going on here. We don't know what the person was doing, what was happening to that person, why the person was falling. We had no idea. However, the big reason here is that the person was falling from the building. Gentle was walking out of a store. He sees this dude, and he's like, wait a minute, I can make like a trampoline and bounce him and have a soft landing for this dude that's falling. And in that moment, he was just wanting to be a hero. Now, I want to point out something with his actions and what he did. Now, before you look at the black and white aspect of him, you know, harming the individual and giving him critical injuries, I want to point out the fact that what he did, at the end of the day, he was trying to be selfless and he was trying to be a good man. And this kind of shows how society can view things. For instance, Izuku, he's our MC, as we know, and at the end of the day, we know he's going to become the #1 hero, thanks to the narration at the beginning of the story. That's a given. However, even if he wasn't the main character, or if he was, it doesn't matter. One of his actions, with him trying to go out of his way to save someone, could have easily have resulted in him harming an individual. Think about this, okay? He has One for All's quirk. He has the quirk One for All within him, and as we know, All Might is incredible. He had incredible strength. He can literally cause wind pressure, air pressure, just by punching or kicking, which is just complete savage. I mean, we saw All Might obliterate buildings in Season 2 of the anime. So when you think about this, Izuku has a very deadly quirk. And now this has been a trait that's always been in My Hero Academia. For instance, Shigaraki brought this up, saying, how can everybody be so calm? How can everybody just be so happy and all that when everybody around them could potentially have a quirk that could just kill you like that? And that was the whole thing with Shigaraki, saying he has a quirk that literally, if he just puts all fingers on someone, they disintegrate and die, and that's kind of showing how dangerous quirks can be. And if Izuku, if he wasn't the MC, he might have harmed someone. He legit could have possibly have killed someone, even a villain that he was fighting, because he didn't really have a good grasp of his quirk at all. And that's kind of what this entire chapter is trying to show, that if Izuku would have messed up, he would have probably been in the exact same situation as Gentle in this chapter. What happened to him in the past? See, Gentle, he just did something Izuku would do. He went out of his way to save someone on instinct, which is exactly what Izuku did at the beginning of the series. But the thing is Izuku didn't harm someone. He's always harmed himself, but he's never harmed anyone. The person he's trying to save are the people he's really trying to fight. He didn't, like, kill them. And in this case, Gentle, he messed up, obviously, but at the end of the day, he was trying to be a good man. But this is where the aspect of law and justice comes in. Because of what he did, he broke the law. And as we know, the law is very strict. I mean, for anything, actually, in real life or even in series, the law is strict to where if you break it, obviously you're going to pay fines or something's going to happen. Bad negative repercussions. And in this case, with him going out of his way and doing that and hurting the person that was trying to be saved by another hero, he interfered with a business. And it caused them to be, you know, losing profits. It caused it to where, you know, they couldn't perform their hero duties right. And that's kind of been one of the big examples throughout the series for a long time now, even with Izuku, and why he shouldn't have been operating outside the law, like when he was going after Stain. That was not what the police wanted, because it's a bad example. You shouldn't do that. You need to follow law and order. But Gentle, he did what Izuku did, but he messed up, which resulted in the backlash. Now, the backlash he did receive, it's understandable. I mean, it's just a given. I don't think Gentle deserved it, but he got a lot of backlash. The man got basically disowned by his family. If you look at the way the panel was done, his family just straight up disowned him, and his entire family got a bunch of hate letters, and they got graffiti all over their wall and all that outside their house. So, I mean, it shows that they went through a lot of troubled times after what Gentle did. And so you gotta imagine, you trying to be a good person, trying to save someone, and then all of a sudden everybody hates you for it, it's just gonna make you feel bad. It's gonna make you feel very small and just want you to crawl up into a hole and die. That's kind of what Gentle was probably feeling in that moment. So, when all that was said and done, we have a time skip. We see a couple of years or so pass by, and we can see that this man is living on his own, and he doesn't really live in a good place at all, from what you can see. This, like, apartment complex, and he obviously doesn't really do anything when it comes to, according to, like, hero work. And obviously, he doesn't do anything when it comes to, like, a job-wise, because it's even stated that he's, like, a NEET, or, like, he's someone that, can't really keep a job long. So for the most part, his life has turned out to be more or less a failure. And he realizes that, his life has just went down in the drain. But then, he meets someone from his high school days. And this person from his high school days is someone that had their life looking up. They got to become a hero. They passed their exam. They got their hero license. And Gentle meets the person, he gets to talk to him, and he's like, hey, how you doing and all that, like, how you doing, and I see you became a hero and all that, you're independent now. And the dude replied with, who are you again? And that automatically made Gentle's world come crashing down in that moment, because he realized what he wanted, to be recognized as a hero, just be noticed, it didn't happen. People were already starting to forget who he was in the first place. People just completely disregarded him. People from his own school started to not even care or remember who he was, which, that's going to be world-shattering for an individual, especially after everything you went through. So Gentle, obviously, in that moment, he broke down. He went to his house, and he just started saying, is my destiny just to grow old, get a job, and die, and just be miserable, basically? Is that what my life is? Is that what it's going to be? And that entire mentality, what Gentle was thinking, it's real. Because, you see, not everybody can be lucky. Not everybody can have a happy ending. And that's the cold, harsh reality of life. That's how life has always been, and it sucks it has to be like that, but life will always be like that. Nothing will probably ever change that. And there's many people out there that have their dreams just completely shattered, and they can never do it again. They can never have that chance available to them. And with that, he didn't want to give up. Even though all odds were against him, he did not want to give up. He kept pressing forward, which links him to Izuku, and how Izuku, when he was being told to give up his dreams, when he was told to stop what he is doing and just give up trying to be a hero, you could become a police officer or something. Even All Might himself kind of said that at the beginning of the series. It puts everything into perspective. Sometimes people don't mean to hurt you when they say give up your dreams. They might be giving you a dish of cold, harsh reality, but at the same time, maybe you should consider someone's feelings when you tell them to give up what makes them who they are. Now, getting off of that, let's talk about how Gentle, he was a very lonely individual that actually needed Brava. From what we could see from his characterization, it didn't outright state that he wanted to basically end it all like Brava did, but judging by the way he was going and his mentality and what he was thinking, he probably wound up in almost the exact same situation as Brava. He, realized that he wasn't getting anywhere, and he probably felt like there was no point anymore. And with Brava coming into his life like she did, she made his life much, much happier. Made it to where he was able to smile again. And this is very relatable. I'm just gonna say right now, this entire relationship between Brava and also Gentle is very relatable for me, because I think if you've been around for a while when it comes to my channel, you know that I've always said, ever since the beginning, actually, you can go back to my old videos and all that, when I was making, 1,000 subscriber specials and stuff. Yeah, that actually happened. I was doing that constantly. I remember making a video weekly. It was like the Chibi questions equivalent at the time. But, basically, I I remember saying, like, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to smile. And as I've always said, I was miserable when I was working my other job. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And, you know, seeing how I now am able to do something like this, be on YouTube, talk with you guys, and smile like I am, it really makes me relate to Gentle's circumstance. Now, I don't think he's completely in the right for what's going on, what he's trying to do, and trample over Eri and all of that, but I can relate with the man, and I sympathize, like, his feelings, his thoughts, and what he's trying to fight for, and just all of these things, like, I just can completely relate with, because I've always said, like, you know, you guys have given me a smile, you made me feel happy again, and I know there's many out there that have told me themselves that I made them happy, which I appreciate that, so it's wonderful to see stuff like this. Now, it's just a really good depiction of real life, I think. Horikoshi did a good job handling Gentle and La Brava's characters and how they made each other whole. Now, anyways, let's talk about the action. I think I kept you guys waiting long enough. I don't know if you guys are going to care about the sappy stuff and all of that. I don't know. You probably stopped watching this video at this point, but I wanted to talk about that because I thought it was really important for Gentle's character, and it needed to be discussed in depth. So, the fighting of this chapter, number one, and the message of the fighting was pretty freaking incredible. Number one, I like how Gentle straight up tells Izuku that you are from UA. Then you should understand what it means to fight for something. You should understand what it means to fight for your dream, fight for others that care about you and believe in you. He's like, I no longer am just me fighting my own battle. I am someone that is fighting for someone else. And in this case, Gentle is saying that myself, I am no longer just myself. I am like a symbol for others. And that message, when he said that to Izuku, you should be able to understand that. That's kind of what he was trying to relay to Izuku. He's like, you are someone that's trying to inspire a new generation of heroes. And so, obviously, you would know that when you get to that certain point, that you're this icon, this symbol for these heroes, and that you should not, you know, like, try to put down someone else for wanting to be an icon or symbol, and you should be able to relate with that. And that's kind of what he was trying to say to Izuku the entire time. And then Izuku replies with, but I understand, but then why are you trying to trample over someone else's dream? Why are you trying to trample over a girl that can barely smile or not smile at all and people's happiness at the cultural festival? Why are you doing this? Even if though you understand that you're fighting for something, you're fighting for people that believe in you, why do you go this far? And Gentle retorts and says that I fight this far, or I go this far because I must. That is what it means to have a dream. And this is where I say he's slightly in the wrong with his logic. See, there is a mentality in real life that sometimes to achieve your dreams, you have to, let's just say, throw people under the bus. You have to, step on top of them to be able to work yourself up the ladder. That's pretty much how certain parts of society does work. I mean, in corporations stuff, it works like that. People throw each other under the bus just to be able to get that promotion, and that's kind of what Gentle was saying. He was being like an adult in that moment. He's like, to achieve what you want, sometimes sacrifices do need to be made. People need to have their dreams trampled on for you can achieve your dream. And it's very selfish, but it's real. His viewpoint is real. He's like, I basically don't care what you think. You could go ahead and laugh all you want. And Izuku stops his punch, and he actually manages to say, I am not laughing, gentle criminal. Now, this moment alone is pretty freaking epic, just for Izuku's character, but also Gentle, because it shows that Izuku is not looking at Gentle as someone black and white. He is not viewing him as a typical villain, and I feel like that's the main important lesson of this battle right now for Izuku, to realize that as a hero, you need to understand that not all fights are going to be black and white. Sometimes you're going to be fighting villains that honestly have a really good reason to do what they're doing. They may be misguided, but they have a very good reason if certain things were changed. And I feel like that's kind of what Izuku's going to take from this, that sometimes instead of bringing someone in or arresting someone or beating the living crap out of them, maybe sitting down and talking with them is the best option. And there you go. I feel like that's kind of what, Izuku's going to be trying to do with Gentle, and I feel like that's probably going to lead to Gentle's atonement and him trying to once again go for being a hero. Or in this case, he doesn't need the hero license, he could just be a vigilante, and that could perfectly set him up for going into the vigilante series, which I would love if he was to join the spin-off and all that. Basically him working with the main characters of that series, series, and, him just, leading the charge with La Brava, I think that would be very cool, because, once again, remember what Stain tried to prove to everyone, that just because you have a license doesn't make you a hero. And I feel like that's what he's going to be learning, what Gentle's going to learn. You don't need a license to be a hero. You don't. You just need to have the desire, and you need to have the good intentions to be a hero, and there you go. And I feel like that's the lesson he is going to learn. But, besides all of that, though, I think that's about it. The action was really good, artwork was on point, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. Chibi out.